All right, squad. I'm back with another video, and if you want to see what I'm doing today, stay tuned.
TshirtChick.
All right, welcome back, squad. And also, if you're new to this channel, my name is Sin, also known as TshirtChick. And here on my channel, I teach you how to start t-shirt businesses through showing you my experiences and with a bunch of tutorials. And I have over 700 videos here. So if it's anything that you want to learn about, I'm sure I have a video on it. So if you like my content, make sure that you go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss out on any of my future content. And you can also support the channel by hitting the thumbs up button. Okay, so today in this video, as you see behind me, all red, you see my conveyor dryer right here. Back in that area, you see my exposure unit, and you see the big boy press. And right over here, you see my flash dryer. Okay, so I just recently upgraded equipment from Vastex to Anatol. So today what I want to do is let you guys know everything that I love about my new equipment and all the things that I don't like or that I miss about my old equipment. Okay, so I actually do have a list. It's a pretty good list. It's a pretty good list right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and go through everything that I like, and I'm gonna do it off my dome, and just in case I forget anything, I do have my notes here, okay? So the first thing that I really love about the press is the lasers. And I have a video on the lasers that I'll post right up here where you can check out my laser setup, because this video is really just gonna be me, letting y'all know all the features of this press. All right, the second thing that I like most about this press is that it has the side clamps. Now, on my other press, I had rear clamps. And for those of y'all that are new, that don't know the difference between rear and side clamps, I don't have a video out on that yet, but I'll try to get a video up to show you guys and it'll be right up here so that you guys can check that out also. So the thing with the side clamps is, I'm just gonna go ahead and show you that right quick. So right here, as you can see I have a side clamp setup, and for the side clamp setup, you see I have 4 different parts that hold on to the screen. Right here you can see you twist this knob and it holds the screen down on all 4 sides, which makes the screen more secure and makes it hold tighter and better registration, which is another thing that I love about this machine is the registration. Okay, so right here you can see the micro registration. All of these knobs around here are to adjust the micro registration. This press actually has toolless registration, which means you don't need any tools. My other press, I had to get a tool to do certain things, but with this one, everything is done. You just twist the knobs, whatever. These knobs control how loose or tight your screen is. Okay, and I'm gonna bring this screen over here. Right here, you can see that I have this screen, it's already screwed in on both sides so that it holds good registration, and this press holds perfect registration. Now when you have a side clamp, you have 4 different knobs like I was saying earlier, but when you have a rear clamp, you would just have one of these things right back here. You would just slide the screen in back here and you would twist the knob on both sides. I'll try to put some shots in of either my old press or some pictures to show you guys the difference, but that is a big difference. There is a big difference with the side clamps. You have so much more adjustability for your screens. Even if I didn't have micro registration, I could slide the screens down, or up, and side to side, but with micro registration, it makes it just that much better. And all these things that I'm going to be talking about right now is about the press. Now, I didn't even let y'all see my press, which some of y'all might have saw it right there. It is the Anatol Lightning press right there. Y'all can check the laser setup out right there too. But it is a 6-color, 6-station press. All right, let me get back to where I was. All right, so let me say, okay, so I talked about the side clamps giving more of an even screen layout. Well, I actually didn't talk about that. Okay, with the side clamps, the way that it's made, like when you have, I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna compare the side clamps to having a swing away press. You know, like if you got a heat press, the swing away press, because when you do a swing away press, it comes down flat. Everything comes down flat, so it's always even. And the rear clamp, I'm going to compare it to a clamshell press. So when you got it and it's only, you know, if the screen's back here and you coming down like that, it's only a certain way that it can be flat or whatever. I don't know if y'all understand what I'm saying, but like it, you know, I'm just going to compare it to that. If y'all know the heat press game, then y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so with the side clamps, the screen is more flat. You know, it's straight flat. So, you know, you get a good print, even print throughout your whole design. But like sometimes if you have the clamshell style or the rear clamp style, you know, it's gonna be kind of tilted up a little bit, you know, or at least it was with my press. I mean, you can still print shirts with it, but it's just a better, flatter press when you have the side clamps, okay? So, all right. And this press that I have, it can hold bigger screens because you can adjust it like how I was showing y'all earlier. You can adjust it using this right here. You can adjust it out wider, and you can also slide the screen closer or bring it back further. Okay, so I'm gonna go over them again. You got the lasers that make the placement easy, and they are individually controlled lasers. You know, some presses that you get, they have it's harder to control it, but like with these lasers, each laser has its own light and it's individually controlled, which makes it better than the single control, you know, the ones that's just like a T, they shape like a T or whatever. What do you call that? The crosshair is harder to control than the individual lasers. So this press, it has the individual lasers. Okay, then the micro registration with no tools. Then you got the side clamps that give more of an even screen layout, and it makes registration easier. This one holds the bigger screens because of the side clamps, and the pallets slide on. That's another huge thing, y'all. That's another huge thing. Like, I'm just gonna show y'all one of my pallets down here. Like the way that these pallets slide on right here, I actually haven't ever used these yet, y'all, but I got something coming up where I'm gonna be using them. But right here, these pallets don't need to have an attachment on there to go on to the arm of the press. Now, when you're using this, it just slides right into the little groove that's on the press. You just, you know, you loosen it up and you slide it in there and tighten it back up, and you good to go. I know with my Tech press, y'all, in order to have extra pallets, like if you wanted a sleeve pallet or whatever pallet, you had to unscrew the bracket. You had to have a bracket for everything that you put onto the press. So if you have those brackets and you order an extra pallet, the pallets do not come with the bracket. It's extra. It's an extra cost. So if you want to get different attachments for your press, if you don't have a press like this where all you have to buy is the pallets, you're going to have to buy attachments for however many different things you want, or you're going to have to take extra time taking the ones off of the pallets that's already on your press to get it right. And I don't want to spend too much time on that because I'll probably get more in depth on that. But yes, that is a huge thing because some of the presses you have to watch what you're getting if you're planning on printing things like youth sizes and sleeves, because you don't want to have to go through all that trouble. I missed something. The gas shocks. The last press that I had, it had springs on it. And this one actually has gas shocks, which makes it a whole lot better and easier. And like on my last press, when I'm printing, the one with the springs on it, you can hear the springs all the time. Squeak, squeak, you know, when you're printing. And with this one, it's just so much quieter. And I know it's a new press, and you got to keep the maintenance up on your presses too, you know, so that you won't have problems like different sounds and stuff like that. But the springs being on the old press that I had, you know, it wasn't as strong as the press that I have now. And it just makes things a lot easier and smoother when you're trying to print it. You know, you don't have to worry about it flying up and your squeegee and stuff flying off and hitting you in the forehead while you're trying to print. or anything like that. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about some things that I do not like about this press. Okay, one of the things that I don't like is that it does not have wheels. And I'm pretty sure that you could put some wheels on there, but when you put the wheels on there, you lose the ability to raise and lower the press. I'm going to show you on here just to kind of let y'all see what I'm talking about. But right there, you see, you can twist that and you can make the press taller or shorter as you need. Right over there, you can kind of see right there. And that is really not like a deal breaker for me, because usually you are going to have your press in one place. But, you know, it's just if you needed to move your press, I would have to get some help because I'm not She-Hulk or anybody. Okay, so the only other thing that I'm trying to figure out on the press, it's not really something that I don't like, but like as far as squeegee placement, I'm going to show you guys on here. Okay, like right there, there's a place you can place the squeegee and it's back here and it's okay. But if you look at this design right here, I actually have this design too close to the top. I don't know if I have the video out for this by the time I did it, but in the video I did admit that I put it too close to the top, which I was able to print still, but it's still, you know, it can fit. But if I had the bigger screens, maybe it wouldn't be an issue. But I'm gonna show y'all with this right here. Okay, let me see. All right, I'm going to bring this over to this screen right here. All right, so now in this screen right here, as you see, it's tilted right there. And I'm pretty sure it's a solution. It's probably a solution to this. But right there, as you see, it's not laying back like it was. So it's kind of, the squeegee is kind of falling right there. And once again, that thing right there is not a deal breaker for me. Let me go ahead put this back over here because I'll be printing some more of these bad boys later. All right, so as you guys see, out of all the things with this press, that's the only two things that I can even find fault with. Really, neither one of them are serious issues, but you know, I do just want to let you guys be aware of those two things. All right, now we're moving on to the conveyor dryer. So I'm gonna let you guys check that out. All right, so I have the Anatol Solutions dryer. Now this is an 8-foot dryer right here. And right here, I'm gonna let you see the belt on it is actually 24 inches wide, as you see right there. The full dryer is about 34 inches wide right there. And also the dryer is about 8.5, 9 feet, somewhere like that. I don't feel like doing a full measurement right now, but if y'all want a video specifically on the dryer, I can do that for y'all later. I'm just doing the review of all the equipment. Okay, the thing I like best about this, my other dryer, it had oven coils in it. It was an oven coil dryer. I mean, it wasn't really anything wrong with it, but this one just gets the job done faster. Like with the oven coils, I had to kind of slow my belt down a little bit. With this one, you can let that thing fly. And also, my other one did not have a thing where you knew what temperature it was. The closest you could get to knowing the temperature is using your heat gun. And as you guys know, the heat gun is not 100% accurate. You know, it'll help you pretty much. I know what settings that my heat gun needs to be on for my shirts to cure. But this thing right here, once you know that, what setting you need for it to cure, you can set this easy and it's programmable. You can program it for different inks, different materials right there. Okay, this one has a digital display. My other one did not have a digital display. It had some knobs. Actually, it had some knobs that were missing. When I sold it, I did purchase replacement knobs for the new owner, but it had knobs, kind of like an oven when you turn your oven on at home. Yeah, and with the temperature display, you don't have to try to guess if it's on what I had it on last time and stuff like that. You know, you just know. All right, so another awesome feature is the auto shut off. So like when you done for the day, like with my other dryer, I couldn't leave until I let the belt cool down, because you don't want to just stop the dryer and leave it over your belt. Like if I turned the heat off and let the belt run so it could cool down, if I leave, it's going to keep running the next day. And God forbid it's a weekend, you know, and it keeps running over the weekend, which I never did that. I just used to, you know, wait extra so that I can turn that off. before, you know, so it wouldn't be running that whole time. But this one has an auto shut off. So when you hit the off button, it goes into cool down mode and it automatically shuts off once the dryer cools down to an acceptable temperature. Okay. You can also, this thing is so advanced, y'all, especially compared to my other one. This is probably one of the top conveyor dryers out there right now. And that's even with the other ones that are not oven coil like my old ones, because this one, you can program it to go on and off for certain days. Like say that you work Monday through Friday from 10 to 5 or something. You know, you can set the thing up and tell it to come on. So by the time you come in, it's already heated up, so you can go ahead and print your jobs that you have for that day, and you don't have to worry about it. And even at the end of the day, it turns itself off at a certain time. If you program it into that, it's not going to do it unless you program it. You know, it's not going to read your mind or anything. It's not that advanced, but it will shut down so that you don't have to worry about, okay, did I turn it off? You know, you just set it and it goes off. Okay. One of the other things is it does not get hot to the touch. Like, you can touch the top of it. Now, right here, it does say caution hot. You know, with common sense, we know anywhere around the heater, it's going to get hot. But because the top of it and around the sides, it's got insulation in there that protects the outside of it from getting hot. So you don't have to worry about if you sit something on top of there or if you accidentally touch it, burning yourself. Like on my other one, it could get hot. It wasn't like super duper hot, but you couldn't leave nothing sitting on top of it. Like if you left something sitting on top of it, it was going to melt or start a fire or something like that. And the thing with this dryer being bigger than the other one, if you remember in some of my older videos, I'm gonna grab a shirt and show y'all what I had to do on the old one and how I can do on the big one. I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back and I have a 4X shirt and I have an extra large shirt. So I'm just gonna take the shirt. Okay, I'm gonna pretend that I just pulled this shirt off of the screen printing press. So I'm gonna show you what it's like. Okay, this is an extra large shirt. Now, as you see right there, when I lay it down, it is hanging off right here to the side. That part is on, but you're not gonna be able to put the whole shirt on there. But let me jump on this side. All you are gonna have to do is fold the sleeves back and lay it flat, just like that. I'm looking at the camera, so I kind of messed up, but lay it flat. All you gotta do is fold the sleeves back and lay it flat like that. I mean, if you wanna do the extra. Now on my other one, what I had to do was I had to fold the sleeves behind it and kind of fold it over on itself. You see, like right here, had to kind of fold it over on itself like that. So it was like this. And because my end of the dryer was not as long as this one, it was probably about here. So I'm having to like put the shirts right here because it cut off about here. So I was having to fold the shirts like this to get them to go through, which takes up some extra time. But with this one, you just, boom, throw it on there. All right, so that's an extra large shirt. So I'm going to go right here. This one is a 4X shirt right here. You can see right there, that's a 4X shirt. Okay, so with this one, you know, you may have to kind of fold the arms back a little bit, but boom, just put the sleeves behind it basically is what you would have to do, and it's good to go. And for the conveyor dryer, I have 0 things to say negative. That shows you about this equipment, the flash dryer. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys check out my flash dryer. Let me see, I'm gonna go around this other way. All right, now this is my flash dryer. As you guys see, pretty sturdy, pretty heavy duty. Right there, it's the Rapid Wave, Anatol Rapid Wave flash dryer. And I'm gonna show you what it's looking like. Beneath there, it's got quartz. It's actually a quartz flash dryer. And it's got a sensor. So when you move the press into a certain area, it picks it up right here with this sensor and it turns the light on. Boom, right there. And it has wheels on it and it's adjustable using this little steering wheel looking thing right here. Okay, so with the flash dryers that I've had in the past, if you guys have been watching my videos, I started out with the flash dryer with the oven coils in it that was really not that good because it actually had cold spots. Now, if you got a conveyor dryer with the oven coils in it, it's not as bad because it's moving. Whatever you have inside of it, it's moving, so it's gonna get heated up. But with the flash dryer that has the oven coils, it's cold spots, so you can flash a shirt and you bring it back around and think you're about to print on it, and it's wet in the center. The ink did not dry to touch in certain spots, so that was a problem. So I eventually moved up to an infrared flash dryer. Now with the infrared flash dryer, it was a whole lot better as far as coverage, but you had to leave it there for an extended amount of time for it to cure and stuff, you know. But with this bad boy right here, it don't take long. It gets super duper hot. You actually have to be careful. I mean, it's not like it's a big problem. You have to know your settings because that thing is hot. It don't need to be on high. You put it on a good mid-range setting and it's good. It's good to go. And it does not stay on the whole time. Now, with all the other flash dryers that I have ever used, they stay on the whole time. So you have to be careful about leaving your pellet below it because it could start a fire. And I have burned pellets before and had to fix them, replace the rubber on them. And I have also burned up shirts. And, you know, usually it happens because I'm working in shop by myself. And I'll have a customer come in and I'm dealing with the customer and I'm like, what's that smell? And I'm burning something up. So with this, you don't have to worry about anything like that. It comes on, stays on a few seconds, and boom, your shirt is ready to go. Turn it, flash the next one. By the time it comes back around to you for the second coat of ink, it's dry to touch. So you can go ahead with the second layer of ink. That's one of the main things, okay. One of the other things, this one does have an on and off button. The other one that I had, which you can get flash dryers that have on and off buttons, you know, because I chose to get one of the cheapest ones. It didn't have an on and off button, so I had to unplug it. Okay, but this one, it's got an off and on button, and the controls are very, very easy. You know, it's very easy and simple. It's nothing complicated. You don't have to really figure anything out other than how long it's gonna take your shirt to cure. And that don't take long at all. You put it under there. If it don't cure, add a little bit of time. Put it back under there, add some more time if it's still not flash. The controls are very easy. So it's really nothing to figure out. The only thing that you would have to figure out is how long to leave your shirt so that it can be flash cured properly. If it's not dry to touch, you're gonna need a little extra time. So you just do that. But once you figure it out, you know, you're good to go and you know the exact settings because everything is labeled over there. With my other one, all you did was flip it on. You know, it wasn't no turning it up or turning it down. You had to raise and lower it. And like with this one has a little steering wheel, a little thing that you turn around, you turn it around and raise it or turn it around and lower it. With the other one that I had to take my hand and push it up or lower it. Now, I don't recommend you lowering and raising your flash dryer while it's hot, but with this one, it wouldn't matter that much because it's only hot when it's on. And it's not on unless you slide, unless something is in the way of that sensor, like if you slide the pellet over the sensor. So this one would be safer to me because the other one, if you had to raise it or lower it, you either got to wait till it cool off or take a chance on burning yourself because you unscrew it and then you raise it up and then you screw it back while you're holding it. And if you let it go or if it get too hot for you, you might get burned. So that's the thing with that. And that's all. So I'm going to go back over all of the things. So the flash, only on when the sensor, so no more burning pellets. It's cooler since the flash doesn't stay on the whole time. It has an on and off button and easy controls. And the next thing is my exposure unit. Now I'm going to go over here. I'm going to show you guys, let you guys take a look at my exposure unit, and then I'm going to tell you the things that I like about it. All right, right here I have the Anatol Aurora exposure unit. Okay, so let me move this out of the way. This does not come with it, by the way, but I'll leave a link so that you can purchase one of these registration tools if you're interested in a registration tool similar to this one. This exposure unit right here is a bad exposure unit. It is, when I say bad, not bad meaning bad, but bad meaning good, like LL Cool J said. But right here, you can see it has the LED lights in here. And I'm not going to turn them on because I showed y'all that in another video. But if I need to do another video, y'all just let me know and I can give y'all the info y'all need about it. But this bad boy right here, it's got a vacuum. This right here is the vacuum. It's connected in the back behind the unit. It's got all digital. I'm going to turn it on, let y'all check that out. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all see a little something. But that's it right there coming on. All right, it lit up real quick. That's the safety yellow light so that you can make sure that everything is the way you need it before you actually close it up for exposure. So right here, that's all of the settings right there. And the exposure time, it only takes like 8 to 10 seconds to expose. And with this exposure unit, you can expose screens as large as 23 by 33. And that's huge. That's way bigger than what I need. You can do all over print with that probably. But yeah, this is an awesome thing right here. All right, so with the exposure unit, it's super duper fast and it's got digital settings. Now, with my old exposure unit, I had the cheapest one. For info on all of that, I have videos on all of my equipment. Y'all can find all of that in some of the other videos along with the links of where you can purchase those items. With the other exposure unit that I had, I actually had no timer on it. All it was an on and off switch. But it came with a lid that had a little bit of weight to it, so you didn't really have to put weight on top of it, but I usually did anyway out of habit. But before I had that exposure unit, I was using a U-Do. And the U-Do, it took about 10 minutes to expose screens. I used the 8.5 by 11 transfer film. I had to put heavy items on top of it and make my own little board to fit inside of it. All of that, I got it linked up, you know, because your girl did not start here. I didn't start here. I started far from here. But that's another video that I also have. So y'all can check, you know, just search through my videos and check those out of how I started. But like with that U-Do, before that, I was using a regular work light. And I never could get things consistent with the work light. So by the time I moved up to the HBE exposure unit, which is the one before, the one that I have now, it didn't have a timer and it took about 5 minutes to expose the screen. So with this one, it's taking seconds to expose the screen. So when I put the screens on there, it takes 8 to 10 seconds to expose the screen and you're on to the next screen. So that's a huge time saver. You know, you put it on, stand right there, take it out, spread, you know, wash it out, and you ready to print as soon as your screen dry. But with the other one, it take 5 minutes. And then if you got multiple screens, you know, it's going to be a long time before you able to print. Okay, that one has the digital settings. That one also has an auto off exposure when done. Like I was telling y'all with the U-Do, it would go off on its own. But with the HBE exposure unit, it wouldn't go off. It was going to stay on for days until the light bulbs went out. It wasn't going to go off. You had to be there when the timer went off to flip it off. Yeah, so this one, you know, that's like one of the best features that it goes off. You know, it stay on a few seconds, go off. And then it's got the vacuum unit, so you don't have to put heavy items on top of it. You know, you just close it up. And it's got a nice hinge on it, and it closes everything up and locks it, and you have to kind of unlock it as you pull it up in order to be able to get your screens out. You can save multiple programs if you need to. Say you're using a 110 and you're using a 220 mesh. You know, those are going to take 2 different times. So you can set it up for different types of mesh. You can set it up for different types of emulsion. So it's got multiple options for you to save different settings in that. And another thing that I like about all of my equipment, all of the equipment, everything matches. Like as you saw before, I had my conveyor dryer was yellow and my screen printing press was yellow, but they was 2 different yellows. And then I had a black exposure unit. So, you know, it just looks nice for everything to match. And when I come in here, I'm just feeling all this red. You know, it made me feel gangster when I come in here to get ready to start a print job. And even if I don't have a screen printing job for that day, it just made me feel gangster to come in here and look at it. You know, I'm just like, okay, look at this. Look at your girl set up. The only thing is that it's super duper heavy, which you're not going to be moving an exposure unit around anyway. But that's the only thing I can say about it, is it's heavy. You're going to need some help if you do need to lift it and move it. So you want to put it in a place where you're not going to have to move it. Unless you have a car or something with wheels on it, and then you can roll it around and stuff like that. But you pretty much want to just sit it there in a place where it's not going to have to be moved, which is what you would do with an exposure unit anyway. So that's all my likes and gripes about my new equipment. I just wanted to let you guys know, because I know some of y'all might be interested in. I would have never needed to upgrade if I would have went with this press right here. Now the other press, the Vastex, if you're starting out, you got to start how you start. But I recommend all of their equipment. And if you can't get all of their equipment at once, because, when you get in good quality equipment, it's going to cost. But you can get things financed if you need to. But or you could get piece by piece, like, get the screen printing press and then move up as you can. But I appreciate you guys watching. And if y'all like my video, y'all know what to do. I'll see y'all next time. Print Squad out.